Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Kleiner and I'm going to discuss teaching website evaluation to primary school students with material particularly focused on Year 4. The one learning outcome I've got for this unit is that students will be aware of the factors that determine a website's reliability. So the indicators of this learning outcome are that students will be able to identify the source of a website, students will be able to identify the purpose of a website, and students will be able to evaluate the content on a website. Students will be able to identify the date that a website was created. And what I hope is that students will put together all this information to determine a website's reliability. The New South Wales Curriculum Support Document, Information Literacy Skills in the Schools, states that information skills should be taught within classroom units of work rather than independently. This is because research shows that students become more information literate when this is the case. That's why I'll be using a sample unit of work from the history strand of the New South Wales curriculum to illustrate the concepts involved in assessing websites. The sample unit of work is called Community and Remembrance. This sample unit of work was designed for Stage 2, which are Years 3 and 4. Students in these grades are aged approximately 8 to 10 years old. The hypothetical scenario will be a lesson dedicated to website evaluation for Year 4 students who are studying the above unit of work. I'll now be adjusting my language for Year 4 students. So, why is it important to be able to evaluate websites? Think about it briefly. I'm sure you've all come up with good reasons, but my reason is that there were nearly 1 billion websites in September 2014. That's a lot of websites. And some websites will have much better information than others, so it's important to be able to distinguish between them. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to know what questions to ask and what information to look for so you can decide if the information on a website is reliable. So, what are the questions you should ask when deciding if a website is reliable? I'll go through the questions first and then I'll show you some websites that can help you with your unit of work and we'll decide if they're reliable. The questions we need to ask are: who wrote the website? This may be an author or an organisation. We need to find out more about them. We can do this by clicking on the About Us tab of the website or by checking the author at the bottom of the page. What is the purpose of the site? You need educational websites for school, so sites that are trying to sell you something are not appropriate. You can usually find out the purpose of the site by looking at the homepage. What's the website's address? This is just a clue, but generally websites that end with .edu and .gov are more likely to have reliable information than sites that end with .com, .org or .net. So if I see a site that ends in .net or has .net in the address, the information could be reliable, but it's a clue to me that I have to look for other hints that the information on this site might be correct. So it's important to remember that the name isn't everything and we need to ask more questions. The next question we ask is what information is on the site? Does it sound correct? And does it confirm what you've read on other websites or in books? If you've just started researching a topic, you'll need to confirm the information you're reading from other sources. And the last question we ask is when was the site created? You usually look at the bottom of the page for this. A website should be updated regularly so that the information stays correct and current. The unit of work you are studying is called Community and Remembrance. Part of the tasks that you have to undertake when studying this unit is to find Dreamtime stories and research their meaning. We're going to look at the website I've typed up here to see if this is a reliable website that can help you with your research. The website I will show you today is about Aboriginal Australians, and the site we'll be looking at is a site which contains Dreamtime stories. In this unit, you need to read Dreamtime stories and discover their meanings. This website is called Sharing Our Stories, and I've taken a screenshot of the website for you because I think it will be easier to explain this to you. Let's ask our first question: who wrote it? Well, you can see that the ABC wrote it, both from the corner and from the address. So you know that this is a reliable organisation. So we can say the information on this site will probably be reliable, but let's ask some questions. So, what's the purpose of the site? The purpose of the site is this. Awaya presents 6 Aboriginal dreaming stories. So these stories are told to children to teach them about their ancestors, the spirit world and their place in the world. So we can see that this is an educational website, which is good because we need this website for school. What's the website's address? Well, if I look here, abc.net.au. Now, I know I said .net might not be reliable, but we've got a lot of evidence to say that this website is probably reliable, so we're not going to worry about the .net in this case. What information is on the site? Well, we already know that it's 6 dreaming stories, and I'll just show you one story so we can see what we're looking at. This story is called The Devil's Story, and it comes from the Julkmingan community, and it tells you where this community is from. If you look down here, you can see there's some choices to listen to the story. Listen to audio, or you can download the audio or download the video. And I recommend you do this as part of your research. But when we look at this information, we can see that there is a source given for the story. We know the community that it comes from. So that suggests that this information is reliable. This is a screenshot of the bottom of the website, and I wanted to show it to you, and particularly to point out the credits. Credits show the people that took part in the creation of something, in this case, the website. So the fact that this site is listing exactly who told the stories, who took the pictures, shows that this is a reliable website. The last question we ask is, when was the site created? I've taken a screenshot of the bottom of the page because it was quite difficult to see. And you can see that this website was created in 2014. So we know that the information on this page is relatively new. This confirms that we have a reliable website to help us find information once we put all these clues together. So, now you know the question you have to research, and you know that the website is reliable. You need to decide if the information on the site is useful for your research question. We know our research question is to find the meaning of Dreamtime stories. So this site will be useful for your research. Now that I've shown you a reliable website, I'd like to show you a hoax website. A hoax means that something is not real but designed to trick people. This website is called www.yogakitty.com. Now, let's look at who wrote it. If we go right down here and have a look, we can see that it was written by someone called Diana Hayman, and it was done in 2000. We don't know anything about Diana Hayman, so we're going to find out more about her later. Let's ask our next question. What's the purpose of the site? The purpose of the site, if we go up here, is to give us yoga cat videos. Now, what's the website's address? Let's go up here. I know that it's yogakitty.com. So I know that this means I have to do further research. What information is on the site? We already said that it's about cat videos and selling us cat yoga videos, which I think sounds suspicious. But if we look over here, you can also see that I can buy stuff. Oh, that's not educational, and that won't help us for school. So if I add that to the fact that I don't know what cat yoga is, I'm beginning to get really suspicious that this website may not be real. When was the website created? I already said it was created in 2001, so I know that the website and the information on the website does not have up-to-date information. Now, I've taken this screenshot to tell you more about Diana Hayman. If we look over here, we can see that she is a director and a writer of perfect yoga videos. This tells me that it's a joke. And she's not an expert in cat yoga. She is a writer. So she makes these videos, these websites for fun. And I can confirm with you that this is a hoax website. Here are a couple of websites you can go to see if you can test your knowledge of websites. Which website is the hoax? The first website is www.abc.net.au/indigenous/map, or is it www.dogisland.com? Go to both websites and see if you can figure out the answer. If you liked any part of this presentation or had trouble understanding some concepts, please let me know by filling in this survey. Here's the link. The formal part of my presentation is now complete. In the supplementary materials, I've provided a list of resources used in my presentation, as well as a summary of my talk and a handout for students. As this presentation is about a generic skill, I do not believe that a formative assessment would be helpful in this context. The handout that I have created, apart from assisting students, will be helpful for continuous assessment when students are required to undertake research for an assignment. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Bye for now.